Right, so this is video 9 and the one about posting by email. So let's start from here. We're in the dashboard and I've selected this thing called Jetpack. Jetpack is a sort of package of different plugins that we pay for. It should say connected to WordPress.com up here. If it doesn't, this thing's not going to work, and you need to let me know and I'll make sure it's connected. If it's not connected, it's not going to work. So assuming it is connected, you're going to go down until you see this post by email, and then you click on configure. So basically what you're going to do with this configure is you're going to get a email address that's a special magic email address that you can use to send an email to your site. Okay, there it is. Mine's come up right in the middle of the screen conveniently, but you'll have to scroll yourself down until you see it. So this email address will work. This actual one will work until you regenerate the address or disable it. Okay, so you do need to keep it a little bit secret if you like, because otherwise anybody can just email junk to your site, which is obviously not something that you want. And you might also want to think about sort of regenerating it once in a while. There's other things that we can do with that as well, but more on that in a second. So I'm going to copy that address, and then really the next thing to do is to open up an email. So I'm in Outlook at the moment, but obviously you could do this from your phone if you wanted to. Now, this email is going to become the post. Okay, so in other words, I'm adding content in a third way, if you like. We added it to pages, we created a post, now I'm adding it by creating a post by emailing. So for this example, I'm going to use a piece of homework, and I'm going to write a piece of homework. I'll show you where it's going to go. I'm going to put it here in this page here. So this is the homework section for mine in Discover Robotics. So I'm going to write a piece of homework for my robotics class. So a few things about this post. For example, the subject, that's going to be the title of the post. So I might want to write something like homework for Tuesday the 13th August. Okay, then I write my homework here. Okay, it's a tricky piece of homework. And I need to make sure that there's no other stuff in this email. So a lot of people, we should all have a signature. So you must take that out. So just highlight that and get rid of that, delete that, because anything in there will become part of the post. So you'll be posting up your phone number and all kinds of other things. You could just hit send now, but obviously that wouldn't go anywhere because it doesn't know what part of the site it needs to go to. So you need to tell it by using what we call shortcode, and all that is just a flashy word for a couple of things in squared brackets. You have to start with the word category, spelled properly, and then you need the category that you set up. Okay, remember back to that. If you're struggling, you should have it written on your design sheet here. Okay, so that's where mine was written, yeah, and I know that my category was called Discover Robotics. I think come to think of it, that my category was actually different to that, but I can always go and check. So let's just do that now. I'm going to go and check by going to Posts and Category. I think I put a homework on the end of mine and I forgot to write it in my design sheet. So don't do the same mistake. Yes, exactly. There we go. Discover Robotics HWK was the category. You have to get that spot on, otherwise it doesn't work. So Discover Robotics robotics HWK, and then close square brackets. Okay, that's going to work. That's going to end up right in there. A couple of other features about this is if I go to a document, for example, I might attach a file to this email. So, for example, if my people needed to do something like use a site design there, so I can include that. That PDF is going to be available as part of this blog post. And the other thing that I really should do is include a picture. So it's a nice habit to get into, including a picture in your post, because, well, the web is a very visual, it's a very visual media. So we should be making it, a habit that we include a picture in all the things that we do. So it's a good idea just to start sort of saving some of the things and getting them sort of a bank of pictures. And again, you can use the image search in Google if you want to use a picture that's online, but do make sure you're doing it using using something that's available in Creative Commons. So I have actually got no idea what any of these pictures are, but never mind. There we go, I've included a picture. So now it's just a matter of hitting send, and it's going to be sent to my site and is going to be put into this category. It's going to be assigned a category Discover Robotics Homework, and then that Discover Robotics Homework page, if we look on my design, that Discover Robotics Homework page has been set up so it is associated with that category. So in other words, it's going to pull that and it's going to appear on this page. Now, in a second, well, actually, let me just hit send now. Get that process in motion. So that's been sent off. Okay, we're going to have a look at that in a second. But before we do, just let me point out that you don't have to just include just one category. If I'd wanted that post, for whatever reason, to appear on my home page as well, instead of just putting category Discover Robotics HWK, I would have also put comma news as well, so that I can have it assign the category news and Discover Robotics Homework. In that case, it's going to be put into both those two places, so it's going to end up here on this page and here. So in other words, you can shoot content to anywhere, any page that has an associated posts category set up. It's a really powerful tool. Okay, so let's see if that's worked. Let's see if it's got to the right place. Okay, so here I am on my Discover Robotics Homework page, and there it is. The homework sent via email, a post created via email. And you see how nice the picture looks just in that little sort of thumbnail there. That's all set up for you, so you don't have to do anything. And then the student would then click on that homework post, and this link would become active so they can download that PDF file and they get the full version of the picture. Oh, that was the picture I used. That's one of my sliders. How very interesting. Okay, so that's how to send a post by email. Now, you may mess up. Like, for example, you're going to need to experiment a bit, so you need to know how to delete it. Well, let's just show you quickly how to do that, because it's dead easy, and you've probably worked it out, actually. If you go to Posts and go to All Posts, that post that you sent by email is no different to any other post that you've made. So these posts here, there it is, that's the one that I just made. So I'm just going to select it and trash it, because obviously we don't want that up there on the blog confusing things. Now you're going to also have in that section here of the post, you're going to have all the posts that I included in the template. So at some point you're going to need to go through and just trash all those. Okay, so that's using email to send posts to your blog. I just said blog there, didn't I? I meant site. Sending posts to your site. We don't call them blogs anymore.